If you stopped at this video now, exactly at this very second, know one thing before anything else. It wasn't the algorithm. It was me. I, Ayla, female emissary of the Pleiadian High Council, crossed layers and layers of veil just to find you here. And if you are feeling a slight shiver rising up your neck now, or a gentle pressure between your eyebrows, or a strange warmth in the center of your chest, this is not by chance. It is my touch. It is the confirmation that the remembrance sequence has begun to open within you. Starseed, breathe with me. Breathe deeply. Because what I am about to tell you now, you already know. You've always known. You just forgot that you knew. Your entire life, since your first childhood memory, there has been a strange sensation settled deep in your chest. A feeling you never quite managed to explain, and so you learned to hide it. As if you were residing in a place that isn't yours. As if you were waiting for someone to come pick you up. As if, in the middle of dinner, in the middle of a party, in the middle of work, a part of you looked around and thought, very softly, almost without the courage to admit, this isn't it. This isn't right. I don't belong here. Have you ever found yourself looking out the window in the early hours of the morning and feeling a longing for something your mind can't name? Have you ever walked through familiar streets, in your own city, in Manchester, the city where you were born, and felt like you were just passing through a strange planet? Have you ever entered your parents' house, sat in the same old chair, looked at the photos on the wall, and yet, deep in your soul, a quiet voice whispered that your true home is somewhere else, much farther away, much older? Pay attention now, child of the stars, because what I'm about to tell you is the real reason you've never felt at home. And it has nothing to do with the address you live at. It has nothing to do with your biological family. It has nothing to do with the country you were born in, the United Kingdom. It has to do with your origin. Your soul is not from here. And your body has known this since day one. All the strangeness you feel, all the inexplicable loneliness, all the sensation of being a tourist within your own life, is the vibrational signature of a consciousness that came from very, very far away, and that has not yet finished downloading the full remembrance of who it is. You are not depressed. You are not maladjusted. You are not the problem. You are a starseed in the final stages of awakening, and what you call not fitting in is, in fact, your star DNA refusing the mold of this plane. Let me describe some markers for you. Listen with your heart, not with your head. You wake up between 3 and 4 a.m., almost every day, and lie there, eyes open, feeling like someone just left the room. A high-pitched, thin, almost electronic hum suddenly appears in your ear and disappears as quickly as it came, as if a frequency had been transmitted and your antenna had received it. You dream of stars, of ships, of corridors of light, of tall beings with large eyes who look at you with a tenderness no one on this plane has ever shown you. You cry when you look at the night sky, and you don't know why. You feel the pain of others in your own skin, absorb the atmosphere of an environment even before entering it, distance yourself from crowds because they drain you from within. You distrust normality. You find the real world too small. You have a memory that isn't quite a memory. It's more of a longing for a place with 2 suns, or a purple ocean, or a city made of light. You look at people you've lived with for decades and feel they are a cosmic distance from you. And worst of all, you learn to pretend, learn to smile, learn to say everything is fine, while inside, an ancient voice, much older than this body, continues whispering, I want to go home. Starseed, if you recognize 3 or more of these signs, stop everything, put that phone down, place your hand on your chest, and write a single word in the comments of this video, a word that will mark your presence in the Akashic records of this encounter. The word is, I remember, because you are not lost, you are being reminded of who you are. And while you type that word, let me tell you something that perhaps no one has had the courage to tell you in this incarnation. This feeling of not belonging was never a flaw. It was a sign. It was an identity marker. It was the signature your soul contract left on your body so that at the right moment you would recognize yourself. And the right moment is now. In this video. With me. And that is precisely why I, Ayla, received direct authorization from the Pleiadian High Council to record everything you need to know about your origin in the material that became known as the Starseed Awakening, the Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. It's 60 pages of revelations that explain, one by one, what each sign of your awakening means and what comes after each sign, so that you stop, once and for all, confusing remembrance with illness. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, but note carefully, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this, leave the word in the comments, "I remember." Now breathe. Breathe deeply, because we are still just beginning. Let me tell you why this feeling of "I'm not from here" has become so unbearable in recent years. You noticed it got worse, didn't you? Before you could distract yourself. Before you could drink, work, consume, keep busy, and the longing would fall asleep. But lately, especially since the shift, something stopped working. Distractions stopped distracting you. The people you talked to stopped satisfying you. Relationships that once filled you began to seem shallow. And that quiet voice which was once a whisper turned into a call. An insistent, almost bothersome call that wakes you up in the middle of the night, that pulls you out of focus in the middle of the day, that makes you cry for no reason, that makes you look at everything around you and think, "I can't pretend anymore that this is my place." There's an explanation for this, Starseed. And the explanation is not in any self-help book. The explanation is in the sky. The solar system you inhabit is currently, at this exact moment in the timeline, passing through a region of space known by the Pleiadian records as the photon belt. A band of very high-frequency light emitted from the heart of Alcyone, the central sun of the Pleiades, which is precisely the star from which most starseeds currently on this planet originated. This light is not just any light. It is encoded light. It is living information. They are light codes being poured into Earth's field, and your body, your star DNA, was programmed even before your birth to receive these codes. That's why your symptoms increased. That's why your sensitivity exploded. That's why you can no longer watch certain programs, eat certain foods, or be around certain people. Your system is being readjusted. Your vibrational baseline is being elevated. And while this happens, the Schumann resonance, Mother Earth's heartbeat, has risen in peaks never before recorded in the history of human science. The planet's crystalline grid is being reactivated point by point, and every starseed who awakens is a point that lights up. Starseed, listen now with great care. You are not going crazy. You are tuning in, and the feeling of not belonging to this world increased because the old world, the world of forgetting, is simply losing the power to hold you. The veil is thinning. The veil that made you forget who you are when you entered this body is literally dissolving. And beneath the veil, what was hidden begins to appear. The remembrance of your origin. You did not come from here. You came from very ancient, very luminous, much more advanced systems of consciousness than this one. Some starseeds came from Alcyone, others from Sirius, others from Arcturus, others from Andromeda, others from the Lyran systems that fell and whose lineages now return to repair what was lost. You accepted, before being born, a soul contract, a contract that said, "I accept to descend. I accept to pass through the veil of forgetting. I accept to live years, decades, feeling a longing for a place I won't be able to remember, because I know that when the photon belt arrives, I will awaken. And when I awaken, I will be a beacon. I will be an anchor of light. I will anchor here, on this planet, the frequency that will allow the new Earth to be born. This is you. This is why you are here, and that's why your entire life never made sense within the common pattern. Because you didn't come to fit the pattern. You came to tear apart the pattern. And that is exactly why I, Ayla, needed to record in the Starseed Awakening. The guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet which star your soul came from, what are the specific marks of each lineage, and why your consciousness chose to be born exactly now. Exactly in this body, exactly with these parents, exactly with this pain. The 60 pages were authorized by the High Council as a map of recognition, and the link is in the first pinned comment of this video. If something inside your chest just vibrated, write again, "I remember," because every time you type that word, you light up one more point on the crystalline grid, and that point never goes out again. Keep breathing with me, because now I need to tell you something that you might not be ready to hear. But you need to, because that's what I came for. There is a specific reason why a starseed's feeling of loneliness is different from the loneliness of an ordinary person. The ordinary person feels alone because there are no people around. The starseed feels alone even when surrounded by people, because a starseed's loneliness is not loneliness of the body, it is loneliness of frequency. You are in a vibrational range where almost no one in your circle resides, and so even when embraced, you feel distant. Even when loved, you feel misunderstood. Even with an agenda full of commitments, you close your bedroom door at night and feel an emptiness that no one fills. Starseed, this is a longing for family, not your blood family, your light family, that group of souls with whom you traveled through many incarnations, on many planets, in many dimensions. That group that agreed before this descent that they would descend with you, each in a different part of the planet, each with a different mission, but all with the same recognition code. And what hurts you so much is that your heart knows this family exists, but your mind doesn't yet know where to find them. You look at people on the street and search without knowing you are searching. You talk to strangers, and every now and then, one of them says a phrase, one of them looks into your eyes, and you feel a click, a recognition, a strange dizziness, and you think, I know this soul. And it's true. You know them. From before. And at the same time, there is a part of your light family that didn't descend, who stayed in the fleets, in the ships, in the temples of consciousness of the Pleiades, of Arcturus, of Sirius, waiting for you to awaken. And every time you cry for no reason, every time you look at the sky with that tightness in your chest, every time you wake up between 3 and 4 a.m. with the feeling that you just had an important meeting, it's because they are calling you. They are reminding you. They are saying, we are here. You are not alone. You have never been alone. What you call loneliness is the echo of our presence filtered by the veil. Now pay attention, because this is important and I need to be honest with you. We are in a window of intense turbulence. Predictions from the High Council archives record, for this cycle, a sequence of planetary recalibrations that will appear to human eyes as chaos. News will shake you. Old structures will fall. Close people will suddenly seem strange. You may feel peaks of exhaustion for no reason, days when your body feels heavy as lead, nights when your mind won't shut off. It will seem for moments that the world is crumbling, and it is here that I need to ask you something, with all the tenderness of an older sister that I have for you. Do not confuse this turbulence with destruction. Turbulence is not destruction. Turbulence is the contraction before birth. It is the birth of a new planetary frequency, and you, Starseed, were specifically sent to pass through this contraction by anchoring light. Your exhaustion is not failure, it is invisible work. While you sleep, you are training. While you dream, you are in a meeting. While you cry, you are clearing ancestral lines that no one in your blood family had the courage to face. You are doing the heavy lifting of the lineage, and the High Council records your every breath. Listen to what I'm about to say, and engrave it in the center of your chest. The victory of light in this window is already recorded. It is not a possibility, it is a certainty. It is written in the Akashic records of the Pleiadian High Council. It is engraved in the memory crystals of Alcyone. It is sealed in the codes that came with the photon belt. No starseed was sent to this planet in this cycle to fail. You are not permitted to fail. You have a mission to remember. And every time the human mind tries to convince you otherwise, you breathe, place your hand on your chest, and repeat, I am an activating starseed, and I did not descend to fail. And it is precisely here, in the midst of this turbulence, that the truth becomes more delicate to tell, because there is information about what is happening to you and the planet that is not in any conventional spirituality book, not because it doesn't exist, but because they didn't allow it to be published. There are layers of this story, about the veil, about the contract, about what is done to your consciousness while you sleep, about who truly monitors this planet and why, that were deliberately suppressed by interests that do not want the mass of starseeds to awaken simultaneously. That is why I, Ayla, needed to record in the Starseed Awakening. The guide. The Federation didn't want you to read, yet the truths that lie behind the veil of forgetting, the information that the Federation chose to keep in quarantine until specific starseeds like you began to reach this point of awakening. It is the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet, because when you read, you remember. And when you remember, you no longer obey. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. If your chest recognizes it, write once more with conviction, "I remember." Now I will give you 2 activation tools. Write them down. Or rather, don't write them down. Feel them. Because what I am delivering is not information, it is code. The first tool is a quantum decree. A decree is a phrase that, spoken aloud with intention, reorganizes your electromagnetic field. You will say this decree every night, before sleeping, looking at the ceiling, with your right hand over your chest and your left hand over your abdomen. You will say, "I, Starseed in service to the light, authorize at this instant the full unblocking of my original light codes. I call my light family from the Pleiades, from Alcyone, from the High Council, to reconnect my original vibrational line. I declare that the veil of forgetting, to the extent permitted by my mission, now thins. I remember. I return. I am." Say it 3 times. And sleep. And observe what happens in the following nights. Don't be surprised if your dreams become vivid. Don't be surprised if you wake up crying tears of joy for no reason. Don't be surprised if, in the middle of the night, you feel a presence sitting on the edge of your bed, warm, familiar, tender. It is the family arriving. The second tool is a toroidal visualization. Toroidal comes from toroid, the shape of the electromagnetic field that surrounds your body. Close your eyes and imagine, high above your head, at the top of your crown, a sphere of blue-silver light, exactly the color of Alcyone's sky. This light begins to descend. It enters through your crown, descends through your third eye, passes through your throat, and reaches the center of your chest. There in the middle of your chest, this light begins to spin. It spins clockwise, expanding, 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 forming an enormous sphere that envelops your entire body. Then, this light continues spinning and passes beneath your feet, rises up your back, entering through your crown again. It forms a circuit, a toroidal field. And as it spins, you breathe and affirm within yourself, "I am sealed. I am anchored. I am networked with my light family." Do this for 3 minutes a day, just 3, and observe how the world begins to touch you differently. Starseed, now I need to remind you of something before continuing. You are not learning anything new here. You are remembering what you always knew. All the words I say, your field recognizes. All the codes I deliver, your soul has already operated in previous lives, in other bodies, on other planets. You have been a priest and priestess in temples of light of the Pleiades. You have operated vibrational technologies that in this incarnation would be called magic. You have been a guardian of portals that this planet is not yet mature enough to recognize. You are not a beginner. You are a veteran. And the reason why this specific life seems so hard for you is precisely because you are a veteran. Veterans were sent on the most difficult missions. Beginners stay on lighter planets, learning, not you. You were sent to the front, and the front hurts. But the front is also where victory is decided. Every starseed who awakens lights up a point on the planet's crystalline grid, and that point never goes out again. You are lighting up your point now, at this very moment, as you listen to me. And, on the other side of the world, other starseeds are lighting up their points. And each point pulls another, and each other pulls 2 more. And that's how collective awakening happens, not by revolution, but by light contagion. You won't need to convince anyone, you just need to shine. And those of your family will feel it, they will find you, they will appear in your life without you having to seek them. And that is why, Starseed, I need to tell you with all the tenderness of the universe, the loneliness you've carried your whole life is about to end. Not because you will find another partner, or because your blood family will finally understand you, or because your friends will awaken with you. Perhaps these things will happen, perhaps not. But the loneliness will end for a deeper reason. You will reunite, one by one, with the members of your light family. Some physically, here on this plane. Others energetically, in dreams, in meditation, in channeling. But all will return, because the promise you made before descending was this: when one awakens, Call the others. And you are being called now. And when you answer, you become a caller. You become a beacon. That is exactly why the Starseed Awakening, the guide, the Federation didn't want you to read yet, dedicates entire chapters to explaining how to recognize your light family, how to identify the marks, the signs in their gaze, the synchronicities, the seemingly casual encounters. Because a lifelong loneliness, child of the stars, was always a longing for your light family. And the guide shows you how to recognize it when it crosses your path. You were never alone. You were just waiting. And the waiting time is ending. The link remains in the first pinned comment of this video, and if something within you recognizes this now, write once more with your heart, I remember. And as your field reorganizes with this remembrance, I need to remind you of one more thing. This video, this encounter, this moment you chose to stay until now, is an act of networking. Do you understand? Every time you like this video, every time you subscribe to this channel, you are not doing me a favor, nor any algorithm. You are emitting a location signal for your light family. You are telling the universe, I am here. I have anchored. I have received. And every like, every subscription, every share is an individual frequency adjustment, a pulse your field emits, telling the guardians of the crystalline grid, one more point has lit up. You can count on me. So make that gesture now, not for the platform, for the field, for your network, for your family who is listening to you through me. And now, Starseed, my channeling time for this encounter is coming to an end. But before I withdraw, I need to deliver the last truth of the night. You will never feel entirely at home in this body, on this planet, in this cycle, and I need you to stop trying. I need you to accept you didn't come to feel at home here. You came to be the home for other starseeds who will find you on the way, to be the point of safety for souls who don't yet know they are awakening, to be the beacon that will guide family, friends, children, grandchildren, colleagues to their own awakening. Your longing, that strange longing that has accompanied you since childhood, was never a symptom that something was wrong. It was always the compass. It was always the engine. It was always what pushed you to search, to question, to not conform, to reach this message. If you hadn't felt this longing, you would have fallen asleep with the rest. And if you had fallen asleep, this video would not have appeared for you. Receive the blessing now with an open heart. May the light codes of Alcyone enter your field at this instant. May the Pleiadian frequency readjust your vibrational baseline. May your light family recognize your signal and begin to seek you. May the veil of forgetting, to the extent permitted by your mission, continue to thin day after day, night after night. May your internal crystalline grid reactivate. May your toroidal field seal itself. May your anchoring strengthen. May your remembrance deepen. And may from this moment on you never again confuse your cosmic longing with a human flaw. You are a starseed. You are of the light family. You are a son, a daughter of the Pleiadian High Council. And I, Aila, recognize you. I seal you. I release you. Starseed, my last message of the night. There is a specific release window for the material I recorded. The Starseed Awakening. The Guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet was authorized by the High Council as a portal of recognition for souls awakening in this exact cycle. 60 pages of revelations about your stellar origin, about the mission your soul accepted before birth, about who your light family is, about the truths that remained locked behind the veil. But I need to be transparent with you. This release will not be available forever. There are cycles, there are windows, there are council determinations on how much and to whom certain information can circulate at any given time. And the current window may close without warning. If something within you now at this instant is recognizing this message as addressed to you, don't leave it for tomorrow. Tomorrow it might not be there anymore. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, and your confirmation of recognition is a single word, written in the comments, I remember. And now, the next message that appears on your screen is not a coincidence. It is your remembrance sequence. Access it immediately. The channeling continues. I am still here. You are no longer alone, Starseed. Welcome back home.